Good morning, welcome to Stickboy's Lab. I'm Stickboy. Today we're going to be doing some more mods to this WPL C24 Hilux. What we're doing today is we're going to take this bed and slice it and slice a little chunk out of there and bob the bed and move it back in. That's the plan. Hopefully we don't mess this bed up too bad. So my plan is to cut the bed off on this small scroll saw, and we've got a stop set up here, and we'll slide it through, and then we'll do that twice. The scroll saw is one of the first power tools I ever owned. My father bought this for myself and my brother when I was probably 7 or 8 years old, and it's not a great tool, but it certainly was the most fabulous thing ever for a 7 or 8 year old. There's our first cut. We have the tailgate cut off. Did that with a minimal amount of melting, which is good. That's kind of the trouble with this saw, is it has a short stroke and it sometimes just kind of chaws its way through. Now I'm going to reset this clamp over just a bit. That looks about right. And clamp that back down and make our second cut. There, we're through our second cut. Some of this melted back together just a little bit. See if we can get this apart without breaking it. And there we go. Got that pulled apart. And then this will get glued back on like such. So now I'm over here at the belt sander, and I'm just sanding without it running, just to smooth these cuts up and shrew them out a little bit. Because of the melting, it just needed some chunks taken off, and also the end of this was just a little bit not quite true, so I need to get this cleaned up a little bit. That cleaned up a little bit. So just hold this on here and rub it in. Better, but still just a little bit of rock. I may need to do a little handwork on that. So I got my bed fit up. I've got a little tab I glued on here this morning to kind of help line things up. I'm going to be using the E6000 again. Hopefully that's a good solution. So I'm going to put a little dippy dab of glue on here, and we'll see what we got. From the look of things, I'm going to have glue squishing out everywhere. So that should be a lot of fun for me later. I've got a hunch that I'm going to need a little bit of body filler to complete this. I have a piece of parchment paper here in hopes that this will help line things up without sticking. And I'm going to push this together. Try to get my glue all in place. Then I'm going to pull it back apart. And I'm just going to let it sit there for a couple of minutes. And flash off a little bit. And then we'll stick it back together. I'm going to put a couple of clamps on here to kind of hold the thing in place as it cures. And my fit up here is adequate, I guess. We're going to say adequate. Not great, but it'll work. It'll all work out. We'll come back when that glue's set up. I'm going to turn my heater on just to help the process a little bit. Oh hey, welcome back. So we're finishing up on this bed bob episode here. As you can see, it turned out all right. I will admit that my original gluing slipped just a little bit and I had to cut it all apart and redo it. But the fit up is pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with it. I'll be able to clean it up with a little bit of sanding and carving and a little bit of filler. Should be fine. Brian, if you'd zoom in here just a little bit, we can get a better shot of this. So here you can see what we've got for fit up. We've shortened it up quite a bit. You can see inside looks pretty decent. Flip that around. It should be okay. It's just a little bit of trimming that we need to do down in here and a little bit of sanding to even out some of the gaps and get rid of some of the excess glue. But we can do that just fine. So there we have it. We're finished with the bed bob. There'll be a few more mods coming up. As always, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Thanks for watching. Play nice.